It ain't kick in
Here
yet.
we go.
Okay,
All right. Good evening, family. How y'all doing? I apologize again. I'm gonna give you another 50 in a minute. uh, we had to have I had a garage door repaired and replaced, and they had to come back out there and do some correction. So that's the reason why we tardy today. But we still late. I tried to get them to be there on time. And of course, they had to do practically a whole reconstruction of everything. But anyway, we here. I appreciate y'all waiting on us. Let's jump in because we ain't got but about 30, 35 minutes or so. We're going to try and squeeze it in as much as we possibly can.
all right. Let's get to it.
All right, let's get to it. Okay. Is this our Nomer up here, our little title, Trust the Process?
Yeah. I just put trust the process because I had a little debate earlier about when me and Trevor was we was having a discussion about voting. We was talking about the electoral college, and he was talking about I forgot what compromise, but he wasn't talking about the great compromise. He was talking about another one was called Connecticut or something. And we was talking about it, and it was just like different perspectives on it. So I was just trying to see what I didn't do today, right? Oh my
That's all.
goodness.
Yeah, it's yeah.
I gotta edit it out from
Okay, we'll fix that though. Thank you, Miss Anna.
I got it.
Okay, so let me give a little bit different picture of that. If you have a Congress or a Senate that has to vote on whether you have the right to vote, if you have congressmen, state reps, whomever, businessmen who redline and change districts based upon what it is that they want to.
But it was more to do with the electoral college. Let me not forget that how did them two coincide with each other.
Right. Well, so like what really does either one, whether the electoral college or people voting, like you have to have a certain number of votes for electoral college. I think it's 270 or something like that. But does that really matter? Because at the end of the day, businesses and other people are the one who make the decisions about what's going to happen anyway. When we were dying to vote, we didn't have big business involved in government, whether it be locally, state level, or nationally. I spoke to this before to either on our show, one of our shows, or maybe somebody else. Oh, I think it was on Facebook. It was a post, and they were talking about education. And neither one of the persons that were having a discussion are in the educational process. And I'm not saying people can't have an opinion from the outside looking in, but politicians in business are those persons who write curriculum, not people who um not people who are in the classrooms. Okay. That's the reason why in the 60s, and it happened with Nixon in the early 70s, in the 60s, you had regular kind of pure government. With Nixon and then Reagan and that group of people after that, Bush, that's when you had Reagan was bankrolled by big business. So the environment and people's rights and everything else never mattered. The only thing that mattered was making money. And in the 70s, mid to late 70s, even up to now, business is the one who controls the faces that we have in front of us, whether it be local, state, or national. So we can sit around there and say how much the electoral college process may make sense and may work. But at the end of the day, that person who is the elected official is going to bend to the will of government, of not government, but of business.
Yeah, as they say, corporations.
Okay. So it doesn't matter about whether the process doesn't work. Now, let's look again constitutionally. When the Constitution was written, it was written by rich white landowners who were men. They subjugated African people, they subjugated Native American people, and they subjugated their own women. So who was it written for? What was it written about? So no matter what, the process never, well, number one, really was talking about black people being able to vote because it had been written in the Constitution. You had black people in North America. Black people fought for you in the American Revolution and with you. Black people fought for you in every war, but we still had to fight here for right to vote. So how do you trust that process?
That's why I put up there with a question mark, trust the process.
Right. So that process does not work for us.
Because I was asking, because like even with him, he was like, we need the electoral college because he was like, you don't want, you know what I'm saying, the bigger states. Because I'm like, I didn't, you know what I'm saying, when they say in the swing states, I didn't understand it, and that's why I'm asking. You know, that's why I was waiting on you to come on because I was gonna probably call Brother Roberts up too about it.
Okay.
About the you know, fire.
Wait a minute. The 3/5 clause. Thank you, my brother. The 3/5 clause was put in place to make sure that Virginia couldn't get a larger number of senators so that they could vote to keep slavery in. That's where the 3/5 clause come in at. People still misconstrue it because what they did was they wanted to count. Now all of a sudden Virginia wanted to count the enslaved African people and the Native Americans and indentured servants as part of the population. The 3/5 clause come in and say we are only going to count them as 3/5 to keep the vote balanced and make sure that you didn't get an overwhelming number of senators or congressmen so that you can, you know, control the House or the Senate or whatever in order to make sure that you continue to perpetuate slavery. That's what the 3/5 clause is.
Yeah, because it was supposed to be, all right, Ron, it was supposed to be, they don't supposed to do nothing for 20 years.
Right.
Yeah, I seen that because I was watching kind of a little documentary. I'm still watching it.
Right. Okay.
So I'll be able to come back and speak on it.
Right. So the Electoral College only works because the other part about the opposite of it is a popular vote.
Right. And that's what I was going to get to because it was showing how many presidents lost. They won the popular vote, but lost
the Electoral College. Right. And who do you think controls the Electoral College? Business.
Thank you for tapping in, everybody that's just coming in.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all. My apologies for being late because I had to get something done at the house.
Yeah. Oh, no. But see, that I do understand now. Because like I said, I was watching the video of the guy named Robert Wright. Right. A lot of a lot of people don't like him because he be speaking out against what's going on in America.
Right.
And breaking it down. He just said the Electoral College need to be tweaked. Really did different from how it's being did now.
Right.
Like you say, it's big businesses. He say corporations. That's controlling it. Like now you got 5 people. Is it 1 or 2 people owning all the radio stations?
The media. Right. That Rupert Murdoch. Pastor Nicholas Gaddis, brother pastor, asked a question. And what brother? He said, Brother Elliot, what year did our people switch from Republican to Democratic? We voted Republican only because of Lincoln and because of the rhetoric with Lincoln and with the rhetoric with Frederick Douglass. We voted all the way up until, I want to say, the 50s. And then we went back and we stayed Democrat. No, let me take that back. We voted Republican. Yeah, up until the 30s. Then we went back because of the Kennedys and the New Deal. So the Kennedys is in the 60s. And then we stayed in it. Now, what Lyndon Johnson did was effectively sold African people out that supported the Democratic Party to what they call the Southern Dixie Democrats. And that was in 1964, 65, when he pushed through the Voters' Rights Act and the Civil Rights Act. Then he found out that Nixon, with his dirty ass, decided that he was going to slide in and negotiate the Vietnam situation. And that's how he undercut Lyndon Johnson and Hubert Humphrey, who was going to, because Johnson wasn't going to run in 68. They was trying to push Humphrey in, but Nixon found out through digging and the trash that he got caught up in that he was doing, and that's how he won in 68. And then of course we had Watergate.
And when he gonna win anyway?
Well, he was still in the election, so yeah. So now in the 60s, in the late 60s through now, that's when you have business start to come in and start to lay in bed with the politicians.
Because I listen, I was sent the video, and it was just talking about. I was seeing the video, and it was just talking about, do you think elections are fair?
Do I think? No, the elections are never fair, because then you would go by the popular vote and not the Electoral College. Kamala Harris would have won because of, all of the people that was voted for her and being popular. In 2004, Al Gore would have won and beat Bush because he won the popular vote, and then Florida was somehow stolen from him because he won that part of he won Florida as well. And then of course, then he loses and Bush gets back. The other Bush gets back in there.
Right.
So he loses 2004. Gore does. He won the popular vote, but lost the Electoral College.
Remember, the Supreme Court elected him.
Right. Why? Because his dad and Reagan put in justices in order to make sure that those justices could overturn certain things in order to put Bush in office, in order to continue this line of stuff that was going on with Reagan and Bush. And then they had somebody come in, and after that, it was Clinton. So you had all of these people, and Reagan was one of the first, one of the first politicians, I believe, that was laying in bed with businesses. Because remember, in 1967, he was the one that said the Black Panther parties were breaking the law, and they were breaking the Second Amendment right, their Second Amendment rights to carry guns in public. Not that they were loaded, because they weren't most of the time. But when they broke into the state Supreme Court to pull out one of their comrades, that's when Reagan enacted the law about them carrying guns.
Man, I was reading, I think, how they destroyed the Black Panther Party. Man, they had agents in there.
No, there's no organization that the government is not going to send agents into, especially if it's one that talks about raising the consciousness and awareness of Black people up.
Man, it was cold-blooded, the stuff they did. I was just looking at fires out there in California, how they're talking about, what was the young brother that got killed, Bobby Hutton?
Yeah, but little Bobby Hutton.
Yeah, and they said, who was that, sent him out to Edge of Cleveland?
Yeah, Eldridge Cleaver.
Yeah, Eldridge Cleaver.
Yeah.
Man.
Sent him, this boy was in underwear and socks with his hands raised, and the police shot him anyway.
But what the Eldridge didn't think that was going to happen?
Well, Eldridge was really he was a writer. He wasn't a warrior like that. His war was pen and paper, not necessarily put on a gun and all of that. That's the reason why he ran away and went to Algeria for years.
Yeah, he messed up. But then I was looking at the way Huey P. Newton went out.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, it's different fabrications. You don't know which one to believe. but some say he was on drugs. You know what I'm saying? This the simple thing that he was fighting against, he ended up getting into.
Yeah. Well, they said there was a young brother, and we talked about that before, that killed him. And then it was a very long time. It was like 10, 15 years before they found his killer. Because, of course, Huey Newton was a threat and nuisance to society.
Mm-hmm.
And the story is that he was out there seeking drugs, and he run across this young man, and this young man popped him.
Well, you know what? I be following this one guy. It just popped up. He's been out of jail,
Mm-hmm.
and he was telling the story. And I guess he knew the guy that did it because he's from out that way.
Right.
He just got done from doing 30. He was dogging out. That's what made me go look at it, because he was dogging Huey Newton. I'm like, damn. And he was like, a lot of people saying he was trying to, one story saying he was trying to bust up a drug deal. And they was like, that wasn't it. Well, he was breaking it down. He said, no, that wasn't it. He said, basically saying, I know this might be y'all. I'm not saying it verbatim, but this was y'all hero. But like, nah, he got strung out on crack.
Right.
And then he called himself, he ran off with one of the guys, whoever the guy that killed him, allegedly, who did this. He ran off. So I guess when my man seen him the next day, whenever they ran, yeah,
he took him up.
Yeah,
and that's probably, if he was like that, that's probably plausible.
Yeah,
but do you say that the work that he laid down is not because he had this? Okay, so look, and I'm not taking up for him, but that's no different than Vietnam soldiers. The soldiers that went to Vietnam who get strung out on heroin and all that other stuff because they had to stay up 25, 26, 27, 28 hours, 2-3 days, 4 or 5 days. And in order to take that edge off or in order to stay up, that's what they did.
But ain't that kind of wrong? Because look how many addicts that Vietnam turned out.
Okay. So they created LSD to do the same thing. And instead of selling it, they created LSD so that if you gave it to a soldier, and other than being able, so if they didn't get shot in the head or the heart, if they get shot anywhere, they'll still continue to fight because it created a disconnect.
Yeah, they basically made a super soldier.
They turned them into zombies, right?
Yeah. Now I get what you're saying, Mark. I'm just saying I just like I said, I be following different stuff on social media, and he was one of the ones I can't. That's why I said the pressure they was up under, it was the same thing that he was fighting against, and they ended up got into him. Because if you go look at it, when you go study it, they brought the drugs into the Bay Area to destroy the Black Panthers.
Well, not only that, to destroy Black people, period.
Facts.
They just happen to be fighting against the system that was oppressive. And so therefore, and you're right, like these dudes was fighting for real. It wasn't paper fighting. They went, I'm just going to write some things down. And no, these guys was out there fighting for real. They were setting up. Our breakfast program comes from the Panthers.
Sure.
Our lunch program comes from the Panthers. Your after school programs come from the Panthers. So yes, they were fighting for real. So, hey, we got to stay up no matter what. Even these energy drinks, they were made for the military. And the energy drinks that they have in the military compared to what they sell out in the store, completely different. You drink one of them boys, your ass up. So back to what we were talking about, the process. And I understand Pastor Gaddis said he voted because of what our ancestors went through. But how do we control the vote?
Facts.
Do we control what that person does when they get there? And the issue is we don't. And we see that locally. And that's part of the problem. And that's really what happens. And you can see that voter apathy is because you're going to go in there, you're going to do the same old thing. Oh, I'm gonna elect a new person, and when that person get to sleep in a new cushy bed, and you get the bottles. Instead of getting Morgan David, now you got Dom Perignon coming to the door and all these other stuff. And instead of sitting around here going to the Wendy's, you going to one of the high end restaurants somewhere, and people paying for your stuff. What you gonna do? You gonna take the cushy job because you're not serious about being a warrior for the people that you represent.
No, I say that all the time. That's why I be saying, like, when they can buy you off, what you expect to happen? That's how you think they get in your area.
Right.
They have to find people like I guess people don't want to realize when you're on the plantation, who you think sold the people out on the plantation.
Well, same thing.
And that's what it is. We just can't see.
Well, we don't want to do, and I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
Let
go
me
ahead,
apologize.
go ahead. No,
What
you
we
good.
don't want to do is we don't want to remember. Let me tell y'all people, let me say this. We went through this situation with slavery. I don't give a damn what you think, feel, believe, it happened. There's too many resources and too many stories that said that it did as those that say that it didn't. And those people that say that it didn't are people that are not as studied as they should. Go study. But despite the horrors, the strengths that came from it, that we still sit in and carry on today. So I understand what Pastor Big Brother Gaddis is talking about. He votes because of that. And that's a righteous reason. But we also have to learn that if we're going to vote for you, we're going to demand that you're going to do something for us. And we don't care nothing about, go ahead on and take the new down pillows and the comfy comforters. Take that, but share that with us as well. And if you don't, and if you forget us because you're getting fat, now we have a problem. And the issue is we don't want to do that part because the society says it's okay for me, like what we talk about OG the other day. Oh, you can make it the way I did when you were given a pass.
Right.
The same thing happens in politics. Hey, no, I'm good. I don't. We can use your money, but I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. Okay, you want to bring your money in, and you want to come over here, and you want to sit in my, build up my war chest. Not a problem. But this is what else you're gonna do for people. And if you're not willing to do this for people, then I don't want your money, and I'm gonna expose you. Now, that may cost people their lives.
And do.
Okay. But it's better to be a man or a woman that stands up and dies for something than to be on your knees and die like a dog. And dogs don't die that way. So whatever this process is that we're supposed to trust, we have to, number one, be knowledgeable about it. Mm-hmm. And number two, we have to understand that we have some other forces that are inside this process that are going to take advantage of whatever they can. Oh, Brother Elliot, we'll make you a state senator, but we want you to do something for us. Then I have a choice. I can look at it and say, well, you know what? I can take that, and my stomach's grumbling and growling and whatnot, and I can take that position and take advantage of that. But guess what you got to do for my people? Oh, we didn't think it was. Oh, no. I'm going to take you up on your offer, but this is what we have to do in return. And that's what people are not doing. They'll go ahead on and get the cushy down comforter and the pillows and the new house coat and the Dom Perignon, and they'll be able to go eat at the best restaurants now instead of going to Steak and Shake. No disrespect to Steak and Shake. You got some good stuff there.
For sure.
Oh, well, we can go out to Shorthorns now instead of going to Applebee's, because we got unlimited whatever. We got a credit card to say we can run it up, and I ain't got to worry about paying it.
Facts.
But and that's okay. Take the cream off the top, but make sure you're leaving butter for the people. Don't do like what Marie Antoinette did in the French Revolution, told them let them eat cake, and they end up coming in, storming the castle and cutting her head off and putting her on the guillotine and chopping her head off.
Damn.
See, that's what these people are doing. They not leaving no cream. They taking the cream and not leaving no butter.
And she let them in.
Well, they forced her way in. Yeah, it's
She
same
didn't know
difference.
it was
Yeah,
coming.
no, because guess what?
Hmm.
I can be disrespectful of them. I can tell them let them eat cake,
Hmm.
and that's fine. You can say let them eat cake, and guess what?
Mm.
Here they come. And when they cut your head off, don't complain as the blade comes down because you didn't care nothing about the people. See,
But
this is what people are afraid of.
right.
Is the revolution that takes place that overthrows the system.
Mm. But why do they constantly do these things that they can tell, that this would have happened? They have a lesson through history. They didn't seen it where they treat the people wrong, like the monarch. They was the kings and queens was all their family was all eating good, but the servants was eating bad, and then you
Right.
wonder why they have a revolution.
Right. Because here's the thing. If you take care of your servants gonna make sure that they do you straight.
Right.
And this is what's not happening because we've become so apathetic about what it is that like, hey man, I saw the mirror and he was cool. Man, I don't give a damn. I'm still hungry.
Facts.
My water, I can't use my water. Turn my water on, gotta let it run 15 minutes. It's because it smells like bleach.
Facts.
So what the hell you being his friend for? And you can be his friend, but you also have to hold him accountable. And that's what we're not doing. We want to be angry. What did we say the other day? You can't go down to council and this is their house.
Yeah.
You go down there angry, well, they're gonna meet force with force. And so people want to get mad when they return the favor for you going down there being angry about something instead of for you to sit there and say, how can we plot and plan and chop this off at his knees? Lawsuits work.
Yeah.
Letter writing campaigns work.
But how many people be knowing about the lawsuits?
Because what people don't know. Well, how many times have we done told them that?
Yeah, but I'm just saying before that, people didn't know. And then people don't have resources. They know this community is poor.
Listen, this community is not poor.
No,
I'm poor. This community is disorganized.
And that can lead to poor.
Yeah, right. Because you ain't got, but I'm gonna say this one more again. Look on Lippincott.
Yeah.
We got a gas station getting ready to open. Then we got another gas station a mile away, and we got 2 liquor stores. Okay, and they sell liquor in both of them. People go get what they want to. But what the deal is, as long as you're misinformed and ignorant of what it is that you need to do, now I'm not talking about ignorance, I'm talking about not knowing ignorance, because that's what ignorance means.
Right.
If you're misinformed of what you can do, what you should do, and what you could be doing, then what ends up happening is your ass ends up doing nothing and being apathetic instead of saying, no, this ain't working. We need to do something different. Just even with this government shutdown, there's enough people around here that we could be able to take care of anybody who's hungry.
Yeah.
I ain't mad about the move that the mayor is making, giving people vouchers for boxes of food, whether it's $30 or $60, whatever, however much it is. That's a righteous move, finally. But at the same time, what about his accountability? Don't just let it be righteous this time because it's thanks for giving season and thanks for giving me what? Hell? See, Sister Yogi G, see what you say. Hoping that each generation will fail or will fall for the bait of being deaf, dumb, and blind. And we can think television. Yeah, of course. That's a move. That was a strategic move. And as parents, we didn't do anything about it. As adults, we didn't do anything about it. That's no different than what they did back in the 80s and 90s and put in what was that? They showed the houses of the rich and famous with Robin Leach and put that on MTV because they had Yo MTV raps on and this and another. That was strategic. And so you got these few people that made it, and the thing is now, oh yeah, well, if you do what I did, you can make it too. Come on. Or if you work hard, you can make it. When meanwhile, those persons were chosen. Just like the Big Six back in the 60s was chosen. And it was about taking our time, getting the liberation that you say we're supposed to get. But for how? And that's all. If you poll, you poll. Black, white, Hispanic, you poll too. But what did Lyndon Johnson say?
Yeah.
If you give the poorest white man the reason to hate the richest black man, he'll empty his pockets to make sure that you tell him and you show him that he's above him instead of us all working together. Poe is Poe. If you Poe, I'm Poe. It ain't gonna be no, I got $100 in my pocket and you got no dollars. That's bullshit. I'm supposed to share. We got 50, that's my brother. But we don't think that way because they were taught us to be individualistic, be individuals, not be communal.
Because that's what we are.
Because they turned us away from who we are culturally.
Yeah, because you can have one person. Like, why you think the politicians finna be going to the churches?
Man, because they know that the pastor's going to deliver the vote. And they going to get a kickback for coming in the church. That's how that goes. The only person I know that may not do that is our brother, Pastor Nicholas Gaddis. And if he do, I'm coming to visit.
For sure. Yeah, but we got to figure this out, though. You know, you got to, because you can't keep going through the same
No,
thing.
we can't. The first and foremost, what we have to do is I don't go serve God how you, but serving God is not going into a building. Serving God is going to serve the community.
For sure.
Serving God is going to serve the community. Serving God is going out there, not just feeding don't cook a meal, teach them how to cook, teach them how to eat, teach them how to fish. That's what service is. If I go cook a meal, but they say you cook a meal today, you only eat for a day. But if you teach them how to fish, they can eat for a lifetime. And that's what we should be doing. And we're not. Cool, go vote. But then hold that person that you put in office accountable. Whether it be local, state, national, hold them accountable. You can't run up on folks thinking that they're not gonna respond. No, that don't work. And that's unfair. And it's foolish for us to do so. It's even with that stuff that happened down at council here. I don't understand how the hell people didn't think that they weren't gonna have a response. You can come up and talk to me all you want to, but if you come up on me like I have to defend myself, then guess what?
I think what it was, a lot of people wouldn't understand. I think because the way Eric conducted himself, and let me say it, not talking about the disrespectful, how Eric would let the let the residents, they will talk. Even if they said what they want to say, he'll let you get off what you want to say. And then he would just counter with, he would say what he wanted to say. Now you got these council people, they took a different, and I believe it was led by the council president, the councilwoman. See, because what a lot of people don't understand, she cussed the pastor out twice. She was cussing people out, but she be the main one hollering decorum. See, what like people don't understand, you'll get her up there. Like she bumped me in the hallway. I mean, I take that back. Miss Gladys pulled me out the way, so she gave me a little elbow push. I laughed because I'm like, this just show you she's an immature individual.
So the other thing about Mr. Mays was he had a way of being personable with people.
Yeah.
That even if he was offensive, it didn't seem like it.
Right.
But there was a couple of times I met him and he just kind of sort of went off on some stuff. Yeah. And I was like, man, I should. But then it got to be funny the more we talked because we started kicking it. And I was like, and at first I was going to cut his knees off. And I was like, man, I like this brother.
But see, that's the thing why people, when they be seeing them coming down, see, I don't look at it all the time as like the residents. When they coming down and asking you for help, I don't know how many more ways that you can tell a council to get some help. But then you see, because I mean, I don't want us to take it like, well, to me, you a council person, you supposed to be able to take what the residents come down there and say. You can't get in your feelings because the same thing, if you calling out the president, if you calling out there, if you're an elected official, that comes with it. That's why you get paid for it.
Right. Do you know how many times that I've had as a teacher?
Facts.
People come in, be upset, be irate, be all of that about they babies.
Mm-hmm.
They babies be wrong as two left shoes tied up backwards, turned the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell them, I said, when you're not around, this is how your child does what they do. I just want you to recognize that. Number one.
Mm-hmm.
And number two, we can definitely have a civil discussion.
Mm-hmm.
But if you come in my room on some old we get ready to throw, let's fucking go.
No, as you should, but that's what I'm
But
saying.
But see, at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
I can have thick skin until I feel that you're threatening me. Right. If you come in and you standing over my desk and this and that and other and all this other stuff in a manner that seems that you want to push it further than what it should be, and we can't sit down and have an amicable discussion,
Mm-hmm.
even if you get passionate. I can understand that. I'm a very passionate man.
Facts.
I understand your passion. Not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But how can we both come to a solution? And that, family, is what we need. Okay,
Yeah,
we got all of these grievances. We got 15 grievances. How can we come? Can we get 5 taken care of this month? 5 taken care, and then when people shut up.
Only thing I could think is the way you gonna solve this problem. I'm being honest. And you probably seen a couple more. I'm gonna be honest. Started paying attention to council to like 16, 17.
Right.
To be honest with you, I haven't seen a council this dysfunction. And Mays been gone, so we truly know now it was never Mays.
It was never Mays.
Yeah, but see this, and that's what we go back to the system.
Okay.
And I think when you got individual narcissists,
Mm-hmm.
people who that's very revengeful, don't need to be in these type of seats.
And you have people that have an agenda.
Yeah.
And the first and foremost, if you're there as a servant, whether it be a teacher, a pastor, a so-called community or activist or community organizer, council person, mayor, what's the agenda that you have moving the city forward, moving the people forward? For me, as a teacher, what's my agenda? My agenda is to make sure that when the young people leave my class, that they're able to go, not only do you know what you need to know for second grade or third grade, you need to know for some stuff for second, third, and a little bit of fourth. And if you're in the 6th grade, I need you to know 6th grade, 7th grade, and a little bit of 8th. I want you to be advanced, ahead. And I'm going to add some other stuff in there too, because I'm going to throw a history lesson in there, and I'm going to throw some other stuff in there, and I'm going to have you do some research on somebody so that you learn some other stuff, and that can add to your repertoire. And we're talking about elected officials, then, okay, so we have a state rep. So what's the point of you being there if we don't see any improvement in the city? You know, if we have a state rep, then, or a city council person, what's your agenda and what have you discussed with the residents? That can be the agenda for what the ward that you represent. That's what I want to know. For me, like I said before, when Sister Monica Galloway heard that I ain't seen her before, she come over to my house one Saturday, Sunday, and we had a 2.5-hour conversation. She was willing to do that. Just to make me feel, okay, well, I hear what you're talking about. So I'm going to sit over here and we're going to come and I'm going to spend some time and talk to you. Come to find out we knew a whole bunch of people. I know her husband and her husband family. And then I knew some people that she knew. We had a good old time. We talked about some history and all this other stuff. Cool. I support her. Not a problem. Because one thing that she did was this is like what you got to do when you become an elected official. You got to kiss the damn babies. You got to shake the hands of people. You can't shake somebody's hand and wipe your hands off with wipes. What the hell? You got to wait. Then you go wash your ass when you get finished. But you got to hug the babies. You got to talk to people. You got to let them know, hey, look, I'm going to work for you. I don't know how this is going to work out because there's other people that are going to want part of this pie. But at the same time, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we do the best that we can for us, period.
Facts.
Now, does that mean at the top of that, am I going to take some cream? Hell yes. And I'm not gonna be eating that steak and shake. I'm gonna be going to J. Alexander's, and that's what I'm gonna be having dinner because that's what I want to eat. And every once in a while, I might be smart enough to invite a resident. Hey, man, you and your family, come on, dinner on me. What the hell do you think that's gonna do with people? I don't give a damn what you talking about. As long as I fill your belly and you shut your mouth, that's all that matters. I'm gonna keep my cream, but I'm gonna make you feel straight too. Okay, all them sidewalks need to be fixed, the street needs to be fixed. We're gonna do what we can to make that happen. We're gonna do. I'm gonna say this again. When what's the name? When Mays was alive, and he heard from my sister a letter, she wrote him a letter. He come knocking on her door. Come knocking on her door. What can we do to fix such and such? Well, this is going on, and whatever it was, he went and fixed it. Just letter writing campaigns. If you disgruntled, don't take it out down there. That's where they sit at. Write letters. You talk to people. Hey, look, this ain't working out. How are we gonna make this work? Go to court. They don't take nothing to file some, get some paper right on there, take it and put it in the box so it'll be on the agenda. Frivolous lawsuits work all the time. Federal court. Well, we're gonna sue Ward Council President number 35 because we ain't seen them at a community forum. Guess what? They'll be at a community. They'll make a community forum the next time.
Thanks.
And it's about forcing them to comply to the will, because this is supposed to be government for the people, by the people. What has happened is become government by big business for those people that lay up with business people.
Mm.
And part of the ways that you make sure that you have control back of government from local to national level is you might want to impose some term limits. You might want to do some other things in order to make sure that hey, look, you're not going to sit up here and live fat off the lamb for 50, 60, 70 years.
Mm-mm.
When I was in South Carolina, yeah, I couldn't believe a stretch of the highway was named after Strom Thurmond with his racist ass.
I mean, you see Rump Arena, so it's like
right.
Rose
Scholar. And freaking Fort Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
bro, I was brewing when I was sitting up there. The only reason why I shut my mouth was because of your niece.
Yeah, no, you did the righteous thing, but I'm just saying that. But this is their history. We have to understand that, like, how they not gonna forget this, we can't forget ours. That's the only thing I've been trying to.
And we cannot. If you all allow their rhetoric to make you forget what we have gone through as people, then you just as ignorant as the ones telling you it don't matter.
Thanks. Let me get these scores. You got that was it?
Yeah, since you're kicking us out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we done for the night. We had like I said, we did 45 minutes today, right? 45. Yeah, so okay, that's about right for Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah, nah.
We appreciate that, family. Thank you all so much. But look, man, don't sit there. We do not have time to sit on our laurels, whatever we think they are. And we have to hold number one. I don't have no hold me accountable. Hold me accountable. I don't care if there's some stuff I don't know or I don't have right. You supposed to say something.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff you don't agree with, say something. I can give you my position. And there's some stuff that we're not going to agree on, and that's okay. But at the end of the day, who are we serving? And what are we serving them for?
Mm-hmm.
And we got to continue to fight. But we cannot continue to go backwards. That's what we are, and that's unfortunately what's happening. Is right now our situation is we're losing.
Mhm.
We're losing, and we cannot continue to lose. We're losing our stuff to social media. We're losing ourselves to stupid programming. We're losing our stuff to stupid music. Now, music is tight. I like the music. Music is tight. Lyrics, garbage. Because they're not talking about anything that gives life. And who did that? Business did that. Congress people did that. Those people that said that what they considered to be harsh lyrics in music that they didn't like, that was our music that their children listened to more than ours. Now you got a problem. And you're right, Yogi G sister. The only thing we are is out organized.
Facts.
We're only out organized. Nothing else. Well, we got our 45 minutes in. And on that note, family, we appreciate you all. Thank you very much. We'll catch you Sunday morning.
Sunday morning. And I'll be back on. She coming in late. So y'all got to give me a second. I just got to go change. I'm going to flip this out, switch up, and I got to make a run. And I'll be right back, family. See y'all in about 20 minutes.
Okay. Appreciate y'all, fam.
Peace.